Hello. Maybe. You must be new here, Evoked Nyx. I'm always late. This is a little bit later than normal for me, but do I even bother doing my spiel? I'll do my spiel while I get OBS set up because it never... I am always late because I don't like the whole start stream and then it's just like stream starting soon screen for like 20 minutes while people file in. So if you want to get in early, you can, or you can just wait till the notification pops up on YouTube. I think there's a notification for when like at noon and then one when I actually go live for realsies. So yeah. But anyways, welcome. Evoke Nyx, you are number one, my number one chatter right now. As we've learned, if you chat 3 times, you get maximum of 75 XP before you have to start donating to get XP for the stream. It's so stupid, but okay, you're always watching, so you should know by now. I've said it in a couple streams, but welcome. I'm glad you're here live. I get messages from people every now and then, like apologizing to me for missing streams, and it's like, hey, you don't have to apologize. I mean, I appreciate it if you're here, but if you watch it after the fact, that's fine. I'm here for you guys. I'm not really doing it for me, because I could do these mods so much faster if I just did it alone in a dark room by myself. Professional streamer, I know how to speak while live and not repeat myself redundantly or stutter. Anyways. We've got a poll up right now. It's relative to something we're going to talk about today. If you follow me on Instagram, you should probably already know about what we're going to talk about, as well as if you're in the Discord. I'll shout out the Discord channel real quick. If you want to join the Discord server, it's not a channel, it's a server. There's channels in the server. I'm not really in it very often, but if you want to interact with the community, then it's there for you to do that. I do pop in from time to time. I'm more of a lurker than anything. And like a bunch of people are starting to say right now, if you want me to say your name out loud, say something in chat right now. Preferably hello, because I'm going to be saying hi to you when I say your names. But you see Mikey in DC. It's clobberin time. Dude, it's almost clobberin time. 37 months, Mikey. I don't know why the welcome sound is so quiet, but welcome, Mikey. Dude, I'm so excited for Fantastic Four this week. I'm going to see it on Thursday. I'm very excited. But yeah, I saw Superman this weekend. That was really good. It's interesting watching a good live action movie that wasn't from Disney. It was How to Train Your Dragon. That was the best live action remake I've seen ever. And then games. Mikey gifted a membership too. Thank you. Welcome, Nate. I'll chill for a second and then I'll go back to what I was saying. But if you want to join the mod squad like Mikey and now Nate, hopefully later today, if not tomorrow, I will have the next main channel video up for the members, because members get videos early. I try and do it a week early, but because of my Italy trip, I'm catching back up. But yeah. Yeah, 30 likes on the stream for Mikey since he gifted a membership. I'll go with that. I think that's an acceptable I almost said punishment. It's not a punishment. An acceptable favor to do, Mikey, real quick. Likes, I'd hope, over the stream. But yeah, Superman was phenomenal, and everything Disney's been putting out lately has not been as good as it once was. Sorry, I've got a giant piece of styrofoam at my feet. I just kicked it out of the way because I got a portable AC unit that you can't see over there, but it came with a lot of styrofoam, and I did not throw away one piece for some reason. I don't know how I missed it. It's the portable AC unit plugged in and working right now. One, because it'd be way too... It's actually, I'm in a long sleeve. I'm probably going to regret this choice with how much heat this guy pumps out, but it'll be a quick stream today. We're only doing this one. Might as well show off what we're doing today real quick. How do you join the squad? You become a member. There should be a join button where the subscribe button would normally be, or next to it. It's a membership. It's $5 a month at minimum, and I mean, you don't get any more for paying more a month. I just have those options in case someone's crazy enough to give me extra money every month. But yeah, we are modding a Game Boy, perhaps, mayhaps. All right, you know what, I'm just gonna get into it because I'm stalling at this point, like Mindy. All right. I don't know why I'm getting out the mouse. I'm just a professional streamer over here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, now that's why I was getting out the mouse, so I can scroll. We've got... It's cut off at the top for some reason. Where's his name? We've got Evoked Nix, Cody, Mikey, DC, my mom, Ragazo. We'll go with that. Chicken Nug Boy. I love that name. Nate. Speedrun. Do you want me to do a speedrun? I mean, I'm only doing one, so it's going to be fast no matter what. The question is, do you want a 20-minute stream or a 40-minute stream? That is the question. I'm going to end the poll here. It's about 50-50. The poll on the internet before, 52% said no, 47% said yes. I've been scammed before, but I don't think I've ever been like successfully. No, that's not true. Someone has scammed me on my website. They were also scamming somebody else because they were doing a little identity theft to buy a Game Boy from me. Screw you, whoever you are. They tried to do it again, and I was like, no way, dude. I caught him. But 2 Game Boys, 40-minute stream. I don't have another Game Boy to mod right now. I've got 10 of everything except for SPs, and I don't like going over that. So don't need to right now. Dark Day, 1984. First time catching one live? Well, welcome. It is easy to get scammed, but I want to talk about it real quick. I'll start doing the mod while we talk about it, but I just want to talk about it. That somebody is pretending to be me on TikTok. I can't talk today. There's a lot of T's in that sentence too. Someone's pretending to be me on TikTok. But I know that there's other people in the world that are more gullible than others, and it's not anybody's fault. But I would hope that my audience is not gullible enough to think that I'm messaging them out of the blue when I'm not doing a giveaway, saying that they won something really expensive and cool from me, who just can't afford to give away a MacBook right now. And I probably will never, even if I do make it big in this YouTube thing, probably, so unless I'm doing a giveaway or you've entered a giveaway more specifically, by me, it's a scam. I'm kind of shocked that I have to say this at this stage in the game. For like, what I mean by that is, I didn't think I was big enough for people to fake being me on the internet, but apparently I am. So if you are on TikTok and you really use TikTok, I was actually locked out of my YouTuber TikTok account for like a year or more. And then I finally figured out how to get into it. Graciously emailed me about this situation. Thank you forget what your name is, I apologize. I get a lot of emails every day, but thank you if you're the one who reached out to me. And then once I got into my TikTok account, I saw a couple other people had messaged me directly on TikTok. So thank you to those people too, even though I didn't really see it from you. But if you are on TikTok and you could report Jake Simmons YTT, there's 2 T's on the fake account. Please don't report my account. But I've already gotten word back from me reporting the account to TikTok, and TikTok said they're not doing anything wrong. They're pretending to be me and messaging people trying to scam them. But TikTok doesn't think they're doing anything wrong. So this is me getting the word out. You are not lucky in winning a MacBook or even a free t-shirt. I'm not doing any giveaways right now. I rarely do them, and I honestly don't even really like doing giveaways because they're kind of a pain in the butt on my end, but I do like to give back to the community. But probably never a MacBook. All right, we all clear on that one? Just needed to get that out there. Okay. But now we've got this Entei SP that we're about to put the first half together, which has all the coolness on it. Boom. This is my last shell from my stock of Retro Game Repair Shop shells, which, if you didn't know, this and most of the SP UV printed designs that I have are from Retro Game Repair Shop. They're pretty expensive and will not be cheap. I hate having to say that every time, but these are like $60 shells. And so I only raised the price by like more expensive ones compared to the cheaper ones. But I know people like these designs. I like these designs. They're very cool designs. They're just really expensive. But that being said, I do need to get more UV printed SP shells eventually. Okay. Yes, please give me your socials. That's exactly what I was getting at with that whole speech about not getting scammed, is just give me your personal information and I will keep it safe and sound. In the future, will you do an upgrade for the GameCube for Type-C power adapter? Actually, yeah. I don't know if I want to start it as a main channel thing and then like continue on with the videos on the second channel. But I'm going to be starting a new series. But I'm going to be USB-C'ing all the things because now that I am in an apartment, and I don't want to necessarily scale back my consoles, but I can't just have all 40 consoles that I own out in the living room. So I was thinking, how could I make it so I could still play any of my consoles easily without having a bunch of cables and cords everywhere? The answer just was HDMI as many things as I can and USB-C. USB-C'ing all the things. And since that's a little bit easier than HDMI mods, I'll probably do a lot of HDMI mods, or a lot more HDMI mods on the channel like I've been doing. Hint, hint, that's the next video, this week's video. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to be USB-C'ing a lot of things on the second channel for a lot more second channel content. I'll try not to post too many of those in a row, but it will be a new series for the second channel, and I bought a lot of things, including a USB-C. Pretty excited about this. So subscribe to the second channel if you haven't. I might do the main channel and then continue it on everything on the second channel. The only reason be way, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, I need to put these pads on there. Actually, I'm gonna check something real quick. Okay, yeah. Couldn't remember if I used the red pads or the black pads last time. Would you be open to taking a commission? I've modded my own SP, but I can't find donor non-SP GBAs in my area for a price that makes sense. They're all as much as a modded GBA from you around here. I don't take commissions. I don't have the time, honestly. I barely have enough time for myself as it is. So, no. But there are a lot of people on Instagram that will do that. You just gotta look for like a specific shell and button color combo. Then I'll mod them. Like I'll probably do a mod. Like, sorry, my soldering iron is freaking out. I'll probably I could do a request if it's something that I haven't have in stock, if it's not crazy. But I don't do commissions just because it takes a lot more extra time, and it's time that I don't have, if that makes sense. Okay. I know this power cable is sketchy, but how's it going? Here, there we go. There we go. And just put a little dab of solder on the pad we need to. Don't want to complete that solder yet. Hey, I asked you about my shorted out GBA last week. I fixed it. I straightened out the wires and resoldered a pad, like you said. Nice. Perfect. I do remember that. I'm glad that you got it. I am kind of impressed with myself for being able to diagnose that without even seeing it. Because a lot of the time, people will come to me with their problems, and I'm like, it's going to be really hard to fix this without looking at it. But I'm glad you were able to do it. Hey Jake, I have an SP with a crooked ribbon cable connector. It works perfectly when Kapton tapes over it, but are they easy enough to replace the plastic, or is it a full solder job? It is, like, you have to remove, I'm assuming you're talking about this. Are you talking about this connector here? Oh, did I say crooked? You said cracked. Either way, it is a hard replacement. If it's just like the, here, let me zoom in. If it's just like the darker brown piece here, Sorry, it's shaky and focusing on my finger. But if it's just this, the brown part, then you can just buy a new connector and pop the white beige-ish color part. Then yeah, you're gonna have to fully desolder this and resolder it. And I have never been able to do one of those successfully, unfortunately. They are pretty tough, and with it being so much plastic right there on those little tiny pins, it's easy to short and it's easy to melt the plastic. So it would be a tough replacement as far as soldering. But if it's just the other piece, the moving piece, then you just buy another connector and replace that fairly easily. Hope that helps. Okay. From here, we can do the rest of the soldering. I guess don't necessarily need to do the soldering yet, but now that I've got my iron plugged in and everything, we can do that. We still got to do the hinges, which I'll have to grab some hinges. There we go. All the soldering is done. I apologize if you can hear the children screaming outside. Playground right outside. I also need a speaker. Okay. I'm telling you, it's really fast when it's just one. Especially because I think I've done more SPs than any other Game Boy model. I'm gonna get a really clean set. So we just pop these caps off. Put the new caps on. How do I keep track of my inventory parts? I have a massive spreadsheet. So we can do this. It'd honestly be really nice if I had like a barcode set up, but I feel like that would be like a lot of work for not enough gain at my size. But it'd still be cool. Okay, I'm gonna screw this down first. I normally don't do it in this order. I would have put in the hinges by now, but I think it'll be easier if I have the motherboard screwed down, and if I'm gonna screw one down, might as well screw down all three. And let's see, go on this side, and the black hinges go on this side with the holes for the caps facing this way, and and then it's perfect. Locks here, locks there, locks there. Perfect. It's like power switch still, so guess we're not done soldering. Take a drink real quick. Look at Joshua. Hello. It's just the locking bit on the front of the connector. Give that a shot. Are they easy enough to remove from a donor dead board? Yeah, I feel like a dead board would be maybe a little too much. I mean, like, you can find these connectors aftermarket. I'm sure there's somebody out there on the internet who has the like Mauser link for it. So you could just buy a brand new one for like a dollar or two, and then steal the piece out of that, and that way you don't have to buy a dead board or find a dead board or something. I mean, if you have one, great, but yeah, I'm sure there's an aftermarket connector that will work where you can just swap that piece out, and it is fairly easy to remove. You just want to be careful not to. The original ones are pretty frail and fragile now. Come on. There we go. And my fiberglass pen. Off. Gently. Clean this off, not as gently. Spray the toothbrush with some alcohol, clean all of that up real quick. Gently clean that up. But we just wiped off the flux we've just put on, so we'll put a little bit more on each side there. I will say that with this week's video, since I've already spoiled what it is, which I'll be more specific, it's the high-speed Edo budget one, because I don't really like the fact that the retro gem has a stupid like paywall for the software, the shiny edition. As far as I know, it's literally just locked software. It's the same hardware no matter which version you buy. If it was different hardware, I wouldn't have as big a problem with it. But anyways, yeah. I don't really like that, so I don't buy them. If they wanted to send one out for review, I'd be glad to take a look at it, but they have never contacted me. And I'm probably not going to reach out to them. Doing the high-speed Edo one again for the GameCube, and that will be out Friday, hopefully later today for the members. You can join the mods early, and with that video, I'm hoping to have a somewhat big restock of GameCubes, modded GameCubes, including the one from the video will be up for sale because I don't need it. I'm hoping to have like 4 or 5, maybe even more modded GameCubes up for grabs by Friday. And then after that, I'm still waiting on my stupid N64s to show up. They were supposed to be here last Sunday, not yesterday, last Sunday. And they're still not here, but they're supposedly in the US. Eventually, there will be N64s restocked after the game. And after this stream, there will be 10 of every model of Game Boy in stock on the website, retroremaster.com. And I'm hoping to drop some new products in the next couple months. We'll see though. Like brand new products. Technically I've done this once before and I technically sell it still now. But you'll see when we get there. Anyways. Ahoy, downright spiffy. Welcome. Shell's looking clean. It is. It's a very clean shell. I really like this. I also really like Entei. He was one of my favorite legendaries growing up. Still is. But I have a hard time using Pokemon that have single types. Looked into making your own GBA games with C++. Not sure if my own Game Boy game. I thought I had a copy right next to me. Mashed. Actually, I'm staring. The boxed copies of Mashed. It is a Game Boy / Game Boy Color game. I didn't really do any coding for that. I made it in... Wow. I am totally blanking on what software is. And it's not on my computer desktop. But if anybody can help me out in the comments, in the chat, why can I not think of GB Studio? That's what it's called. I made it in GB Studio. But about coding. Gosh darn it, I just realized I forgot to put this in there. Yes, thank you, Dan Blue. Oh man. But yeah, I'd love to learn to code. That would be very nice to learn to code. I guess we could test this real quick. That's one loud SP. I get the SP ones specifically at Retro Game Repair Shop. Use code Jake to save 10%. Is it 10%? 5%? I don't remember. But I get a lot of these at Retro Game Repair Shop, or the rest of them, pretty much every other model I get at AliExpress. But they don't really promote those anymore because I'm guessing the Pokemon Company or Nintendo is cracking down on UV prints, which just seems weird. Okay. I thought R wasn't working for a second. You just have to press the little further down. Not like pressing harder, but there's like more of a... The L is more shallow. I can't think of the right words. Interesting. But all the buttons work. And this is a V2, so there's no menu. But it gets super freaking bright. And sounds working beautifully, so we can tear this apart. Actually, I'll list this real quick. Dryer's done, if you can hear that. But if you're interested in this Entei SP, I just listed it. Retro Remaster. If my moderators wants to add it to add a link to the chat, that'd be great. But I need to open this back up so I can put the stupid little nut in the shell that they should just have pre-installed anyways. So we can actually close the battery door. Hello, Dolly. Chihuahuas and wigs. See you here. How do I deal with stripped screws on GBAs? I drill them out most of the time if I be drilled, unfortunately. I would try a little bit harder for things in like nice shells, new shells. But if it's like an old shell that I'm replacing, which is the screws for me, is usually just old shells. It's usually not even me stripping the screws. It's usually I buy them and they're already stripped screws. Because other people don't know how to pick the right bits. I'm trying to put the thing in without flipping the case over. There we go. Because I have GBA studio. I would imagine they've got someone working on that, right? I don't know how large that development team is, though. I think it'd be cool to have a GB Studio kind of thing for all of the NES, SNES, Game Boy Advance things. I don't know how doable that is, but I think that'd be super sick. And there we go. Make sure the buttons aren't tight. There we go. Sometimes if you screw this screw too tight, it will make it so these buttons don't have like any travel, and it'll either cause them to not work or just be really uncomfortable to press. So I try not to tighten the battery door screw too tight. Yeah, gotta get a sticker and then we're done. Read these last few comments here. Is there a long-term advantage for using UV printed shells versus the good shells from Funny Playing? Depends on what you classify as good shells from Funny Playing. These shells are good. I honestly, the GBA ones especially, but the SP ones, they're super glossy now. I don't know why they have to have the super glossy ones. I understand for clear ones because it makes it like really like extra see-through, but the glossy shells on solid colors, I just don't really like super glossy because it's super easily scratched. But there's, with these shells, really no difference in like strength and quality of plastic between these two. The advantage to the UV printed ones is you have a cool design on them, which Funny Playing has like 3 or 4 UV print designs for their SPs. But other than that, they don't really do any much for prints. Yeah. Does the USB-C upgrade work with the classic battery, or do I need to get a soldered battery pack? Nope, you can do any SP battery, assuming you're talking about the SP's USB-C upgrade. If you're talking about any of the other like AA powered consoles or AAA powered consoles, no, you need to get an actual LiPo battery for USB-C. But the standard included batteries. So yeah, hope that makes sense. Can you give me some advice? I changed the shell on my SP, but when I open it, the hinges don't make the sound, and I don't feel that click when opening and closing. What did I do wrong? It feels like it is in wrong. My question is, do I have to take the whole console apart to check and see what I did wrong? You'll need to tear apart this half to be able to look at it, you'll have to take the motherboard out. But if you scroll back in this stream specifically, or my in-depth tutorial on the channel, I go over the let's see if I can do it from this angle. It's kind of hard to put my head back in that scenario, but on this side where it has the shorter end, this should have the hinges that have the white ends, and then this end should have the black ends of the hinges, and that will give you your clicks. Otherwise, if you do it backwards, it probably won't. It also can depend on how you remove the hinges. So if you did have them on the right sides, try and take them out. I don't know, because like the reason why you do it like that is because you have to remove them when it's open like this, and then you have to put it back in when it's open like this when you're closing it. This is gonna get really confusing. I'm already confusing myself, but it's like the position of how the hinge is when you insert it, so you can find those click positions. It still works. Like I know your hinges probably still work. If they're super loose, then that's your issue. You gotta get new hinges. But if you're wanting the click here and the click here, then yeah, you'll have to remove them and reinsert them in the correct position. Hopefully that was super confusing. I'm sorry, but I hope that helps. Yep, any USB-C or any battery that you have in a SP should work just fine with the USB-C upgrade. Unrelated, but I just found Jesus Take the Wheel. I did not know that. I know that VeggieTales is a very Christian show, so it doesn't surprise me, but I did not know that Tom and Larry, it's Tom and Larry, right? I haven't watched VeggieTales in a long time. Tom and Jerry and Bob and Larry. Anyways, that's about it for me. If you want this SP, assuming it hasn't sold yet, nope, it hasn't, you can buy this from me now. RetroRemaster.com. Beautiful, brand new IPS display, deep cleaned, perfectly modded. RetroRemaster.com. It also has the best SP battery you can get. It's the Funny Playing one. Don't say that much about Funny Playing products, but I have tested that it is the best battery you can get. It's the best bang for the buck. It is amazing. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Like I said, GameCube HDMI mod video is going to be Friday's video, hopefully up later today, if not tomorrow, for the member who watched the second channel, which you should, Jake64, so go subscribe there. Tomorrow's catalog my game library. Sounds really boring, but it's not, I promise. It's actually kind of a cool video, and months of Nintendo Switch Online, I found a code in one of the boxes of one of my games that it wouldn't let me enter it into my Switch because I already have Switch Online. So if you don't have it and you want Switch Online, try and watch tomorrow's second channel video right at noon when it comes out. It's first. There's a code for 3 months of NSO in that video. Good luck. Yeah, that is it for me for now, because that's all I know about my schedule for the next week. So I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. That was a good snap. Pretty darn good snap.